Hello and welcome to Nice and Blunt. My name is Adam Riancha. Today is Monday, April 13th, 4:45 p.m. Time for the live stream. Time for some UDFA drafts for $2 a shot at 10K. Let us begin. All right, we're in, and reminder to those watching, maybe on the replay, maybe right now, maybe you haven't signed up for Underdog. Odds are you have, but if not, you can get $50 in bonus funds after you play your first five with promo code BLUNT. There's also a 50% deposit match on sign up. So link in the description for new customers. Promo code BLUNT gets you that deal. Otherwise, though, nothing else to mention. We are hopping in the UDFA, and shout out Pepper Tony in the chat. We also have Vader in the chat. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you once again. But Pepper Tony, appreciate you checking me last time, readjusting my mindset. In this tournament specifically, everything is all about week 17. The advance rates are pretty high. You can tolerate some risk both in the pod and in the playoff weeks. The advance rates are pretty nice. But even if you make the final, who gives a shit? You get a minimum $14. And until you really crack the top 10, it's not that juicy. Only 500 for 10th place. So we're trying to get first place, not really giving a fuck about anything lower than 10th for the most part. And with that in mind, we just have to risk it for the biscuit. We need a very specific build to thread the needle. So embrace some risk, especially at specific positions. Get good depth everywhere else, and good luck. If you want to hop in, I'm joining in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. There are 7 spots remaining in this UDFA, and if you would like to claim a spot, come and get it. Looks like 3 of you may have hopped in already. We're down to plus 3 more spots, and we are underway. But what's up, Jamie? Hey, dude, how you doing? And appreciate you hopping in quickly. You're always a gracious reminder that we have some bomb music that we can put on in the background. I think it was a little bit low last time, so I will bump it up just a little bit. Last time we were rocking it about 35 decibels in the negative. Now we're at 30. So there we go. But Jamie is about to go live for IDP mock draft, so can't stay long. No worries, man. Appreciate you hopping in. And if anyone is interested in an IDP mock draft, let them know where you're doing that, Jamie. Happy to support the community. Jamie is awesome. Jamie had a very fun stream the other night with Jiri Football, another friend of the channel. And Jamie has made the music you are hearing in the background. So thank you very much, Jamie. Really appreciate you. And shout out your live stream coming up soon with an IDP aspect. That's one thing I don't know about. I do not know about IDP leagues, but the channel is called Get Right Fantasy Network. That's dope. Head over there if y'all are interested as well. But Kijo, hello, my friend. Are you in this lobby with us? Let me know. I see Legalize It 420 right in front of me. Pick 11. Legalize It. Do you have multiple accounts? Because I think I've seen you. It was like Legalize It Part 2, but maybe I'm just mixing it up with this one, the 420. I thought I saw you in another lobby, and the logo was different. I feel like you had a second account. But maybe I was just seeing double. But we have King of Kings in here again. I believe your name is Frank. Apologies if I'm incorrect about that, but I believe that's Frank. At the 110, we have maybe Coyote, but perhaps no one else I recognize. Perhaps the 3 of us are all paired together down at the bottom. I'm at pick 12. Not my favorite spot to be. Honestly, don't have a shit ton of rosters at pick 12. I've showed you my luck in terms of distribution. Pick 12 was my least common pick in the big board, and here in the UDFA, I have gotten it very, very often. So the luck making its way back to me. Maybe there's something in the Underdog algorithm when they're randomizing your picks. Maybe if you had like a huge lesser amount at a certain position, it's possible that you get priority in a certain slot. I have no idea. I've never seen behind the curtain in that. It's probably just a random, a proper randomizer. Probably nothing to it other than that. But who knows? Maybe they try to even it out after a while. I'm gonna go James Cook with my first pick, and then I think we're going to get a little bit different. And go Jeremiah Love. I don't take him a ton. A little bit worried about landing spot, but getting him at pick 13, I think is fine. All these running backs in round 2 are kind of in the same tier. And we're going to go James Cook and Jeremiah Love. The team goes Hampton and Genty. That is our friend Legalize It. He says, nah, just has one account. Was in a draft with you last night. Okay, so it was just the same account. Sweet. How you doing, man? Appreciate you hopping in. And Frank Evans is in at pick 10. How you doing, man? I'm enjoying it. Would have loved to get a different pick than number 12, but we're chilling. We'll try to get a little bit different, but there's a lot of names that I like a little bit above ADP sometimes that I've been trying to pull up, and I've noticed every time I'm at pick 12, I always get them. So this one, I'm going to try and be a little bit different, but you know what I would love? If y'all can leave me Breece Hall, I would actually like it on this team. I never take Breece Hall. I would actually like it on this team. But odds are there's no way he makes it to 36. Usually Breece Hall's coming off the board at like 31 through 33, sometimes higher, but it's not impossible for him to fall. Not impossible. But Fantasy Dog, number 7 like. Thank you, my friend, for hitting that like button. Jamie says, stay on this channel now and just catch the replay later. Either way, should be a fun draft over there with Jamie. But Vader says, which first rounder are you staying away from this year? There isn't really one I'm really avoiding. I guess by the nature of like my ranks, the one I think I have the least of is Puka and JSN. There's been a little bit of drop in disparity on those two, but CeeDee Lamb probably pretty low as well in my exposures. I will get unique with him and pull him up sometimes. Like I was watching Huhames earlier in his lobby and I pulled the 104. I took CeeDee Lamb at pick 4, I passed on Puka, and then I took Derrick Henry at 21, and then at 28 in the 3rd round, I got George Pickens to make it back. I had a Lamb Pickens team with Derrick Henry in the 2nd round. That was a lot of fun, but in general, CeeDee Lamb is one of the names I'm not taking very often. I'm a little overweight on Justin Jefferson, a little overweight on Amon-Ra. I think they're both at like 11, 12%. And so everybody else in the 1st round is close to that 8% threshold, but a few of them are like under 6%. And those guys would be Puka, CeeDee Lamb, and then I think JSN. I think McCaffrey is at like 6.5%. Taylor at like 7%. But there's no one that I'm like really fading too hard. They're all good prices. Only Bucky makes it back, but we have Garrett Wilson on the thumbnail. That's who I kind of wanted a little bit more. And then I never take Ted McMillan. So we're going to go a little bit anti strategy on this one. Just some exposure clicks a little bit. Give me the Garrett Wilson thumbnail good luck. And then Teteroa McMillan, I think, is less valuable than Emeka Egbuka. But one of the names that I've been clicking maybe too much lately, and I'm a little tired of like how many teams I actually have him with, is Egbuka. I have a shit ton because I've been getting a lot of these 12th picks, and so many have Egbuka on it. And it's really easy to stack up Egbuka with Baker on this side of the board. Baker usually goes in like the 10th round in the 110s. So if you get Baker at 108, 109, it's usually always there, and it's very easy to justify an Ibuka click. But if you have a more balanced start, like let's say I took receiver with one of my first two picks, I think Ibuka, Bucky Irving, and then getting Baker later is really, really fun. Bucky in the 4th round, probably correct. And maybe it doesn't feel as good being at the top of the 4th round anymore, but he used to go pretty early in the 3rd. Like anywhere with Bucky is probably fine. But I could also see Trevion Henderson being more valuable than Bucky. He doesn't get pulled up too often. Javonte got pulled up to 34 in this one by King of Kings. And then he also takes Egbuka. So his team is pretty interesting. Didn't want to pull Egbuka off at 34, but took him at 39. Kind of the same. But Legalize It was not going to let me have Breece Hall. Wasn't available. He went at pick 30. That's typically where he kind of goes. But I think he could be 5th round value, and it wouldn't be insane. Breece Hall is either a great click or a really bad one. There's no like floor. Like Javonte is probably like a fine click, barring injury. Even if Breece doesn't get hurt, he could just be a terrible, terrible click. But what's up, Dev? How you doing on this Monday evening? We're about to hit 5 o'clock, and appreciate you hopping in. But Peppertoni says CD is an easy click. CD over Jefferson by a lot. I wouldn't say by a lot, but I respect your opinion. The only problem I have with CD is that he's possibly less valuable than George Pickens. Like, that is also possible to factor in with CD Lamb. That he might be the 2nd most valuable wide receiver on his team, not the 1st. It's not a lock that he is or isn't, but it's possible that he is not. And so that's where there is a world where his price is incorrect. But I do think it's appropriate. I think Chase is definitely number 1, but Puka's probably number 2, and then JSN, Amon-Ra, Jefferson, and Lamb are all kind of interchangeable, but definitely top 6 guys. The top 6 are correctly the top 6, I think, at wideout. So to take him round 1 is totally fair. But he used to be going at pick 6. Now he just went pick 10. I prefer to take him closer to pick 10. I'm back on the clock, damn it. Don't love this. But I'll go Jaden Daniels. Never really regret the Jaden Daniels decision. And then I've been taking a lot of Brian Thomas lately, so I will get different. I will go Carnell Tate. And there is a chance that Carnell Tate is off the board at pick 7 overall, and we have a nice stacking option here, especially if Jeremiah Love is not. So taking 2 rookies that are going to be taken top 10. The Washington Commanders are drafting 7th overall. I might miss with both of these clicks, that neither might be a Commander, but I might have a rookie stack with Jaden Daniels, with Jeremiah Love, and Carnell Tate. Did I kind of just luck into it? Was it planned? Not at all. You know what? But here we are, bada boom, bada bing. Find a way to justify it. And a nice little reminder, the Commanders have pick 7 in the draft. So take one of those top 10 rookies, a lot of talent with Love and Carnell Tate. If either is a Washington Commander, this is pretty dope. So a couple of outs with that strategy there. And who knows, maybe they go defensive line and say, fuck you. You're not getting your premier fantasy stack, but maybe, just maybe, we get another Ohio State receiver in Washington. They have Terry McLaurin. At the moment, Deebo Samuel is just a free agent. They have pick 7. Maybe it's Carnell Tate. But maybe it's Jeremiah. I think if Love is on the board, they'd much rather have Love than Carnell Tate. But Love might be going top 4 to the Titans or the Giants. Love might not be available. But Vader says can't have enough Buka. There's a number that starts to scare me. In the early rounds, I do kind of want to cap it at 25. because I've gone way overboard once in the early rounds and that player got hurt, and that was a big bummer. The injury risk with very high draft capital is what can ruin you, but we are just trying to manage and mitigate risk in general. What are we willing to tolerate? So maybe there is a number that's much higher than mine that you're fine with, but it personally, in the top 5 rounds, I think 25% is probably my max. Because that's quite a bit. That's taking him 3 times more often than the field. The average is 8%. Triple that, you're at 24, 25%. Early rounds, I think that's my limit. Later rounds, I'm okay with going a little bit more heavy on a certain stance. Like, for instance, I was watching Who Hames earlier, and the poll question was, are you willing to go 40+% on a player? And as long as the price isn't too expensive, I am. Like Tank Bigsby, right now I'm still in the 30s, but if I had over 40%, I wouldn't be upset. I think you should be making some calls in the later rounds, because those are players that you're expecting not to contribute very much. So if you do hit in a big way, they have true league winning upside, and it's not as punitive if they do get hurt. But it does suck if you have a 3rd round pick that you drafted like 50% of the time, and week 2 of the NFL season they go down with a torn ACL. That just crushes you. That's just so brutal. So I'll cap it at 25 in the early rounds. I think I'm just going to establish a strength with quarterback and just be done. You can go Justin Herbert. I've seen Quentin Johnston circle back a few times, so we'll take him. And then getting back in at running back with just who I will kind of always go to when I need an RB3 in the 8th round. I'm gonna build so many effing teams, especially in this $2 contest with Rico Dowdle. In round 2, a player I'm taking like crazy is Derrick Henry. I'm trying to build a lot of teams with Derrick Henry. In round 8, I'm trying to build as many teams as I can with Rico Dowdle. And in this $2 contest, especially in round 8 as opposed to a top 5 round, I'm also willing to go way overboard with Rico Dowdle. In a separate window here, I will pull up my exposures in this contest, and then I'll share it with you in just a minute. But I need to isolate it for just this contest. I'll include the other UDFA as well. I'll do both UDFA contests, both of the $2 contests, because I only did 13 teams in the first one, and then I've done 9 teams in the second one. So, okay, here we go. Let me bring this in. We got some time around the long turn, but this is my exposure in the UDFA. See, entry fees over here, we isolated to $2, and this is how you can check, but it's the UDFA, the first contest, and this one as well. Both contests are included. I am currently sitting at 63% Rico Dowdle. I've taken 14 times out of 22 teams, and I'm trying to get as many fucking combos as possible. All those teams are going to be different, but they are going to revolve around my stance that Rico Dowdle is one of the most valuable running backs in round 8. So I'm kind of just taking him every fucking time in round 8, usually, and just seeing what else happens. I've also taken Derrick Henry in round 2 at 45%. And I know I just told you I usually want to cap it at 25, but this is a $2 contest, and it's extremely risky. There's really no holds barred. I'm making a strong stance that you want Derrick Henry and Rico Dowdle. I have also taken a shit ton of Dontavian Wicks, Goddard, Freiermuth in this contest, and then everyone else is below 30%. So just a few, only 4 players where I'm like way overweight on, but for $2 a pop, who cares? Who the fuck cares? I think it's the right value and decision in this range of the draft. RB3 Rico Dowdle, round 8, I think is very valuable. But the Curb Layer had a 37% share of Achane last year, was willing to take him at the 108, if I remember correctly. That's a bold stance. Probably paid off for the most part. Achane was averaging like almost 20 points per game. So I'm glad that worked out for you. Had he gotten hurt, let me know. Do you think it would have been worth it? Would you have adjusted had he gotten hurt? Are you willing to do the same again this year, whether it's with Achane or someone else? Let me know your stance. I'm curious, because I'm also open to changing my opinion. Damn, would have loved QJ there. Laporta's still available. The team leaves Laporta for me. I will take him. And you know what? We have Herbert. I'm going to go Laporta, Oronde Gadsden. And we're going to build, you know, a little elite duo at the onesies. We got Jaden Daniels, Justin Herbert. We're hoping for a rookie stack with Jaden Daniels. And then Herbert is now currently stacked with Oronde Gadsden. I was really hoping to go Quentin Johnston, Oronde Gadsden there. But Legalize It said, fuck you. Not today. But I think he's a very fair price at this stage of the draft. After pick 100, QJ has that 20-25 point capability. He can score from really anywhere. If he breaks the first tackle, it's hard to bring him down. He has very underrated speed, and I know he has butter hands, butterfingers. We boo him a lot as Charger fans, but he also has back-to-back seasons with 8 receiving touchdowns, and that leads the Chargers. That's more than Ladd McConkey both years. This is a touchdown game, so he can disappear. He can be worthless, but that's also the case with Ladd McConkey. Ladidi can also disappear and be worthless. QJ goes 5 rounds cheaper. But Legalize It says, sorry, you need a receiver bad right now. That's fair. I think you made a fair click, but Xavier Worthy is about to fall back to Mahomes. Kind of wish you took Worthy over QJ, just for my own personal stance. But yeah, Worthy about to be stacked up here to as Arizona Mountain Man, AZ Mountain Man. Thinking about it, but I think it goes C-Rod. Risking it, but who knows? It might still make it back to him. I'm blocking it. The stack I'm referring to happened right here. This Patrick Mahomes, Chris Rodriguez situation. Does he pass on Worthy again? That'd be kind of wild if he does. But he's got good receivers. He's got Rice, Terry, Parker Washington, Metcalf, and Ricky Pearsall. He goes double running back. He goes C-Rod and JCM. Damn. Xavier Worthy still on the board. A bit shocking. But Worthy has also been really disappointing as well. Worthy has not quite lived up to the hype. But former first-round pick was injured last season. Weird vibes. Mahomes is injured, but I think the stack at pick 122 is pretty valuable. Baker fell to 123. Damn. Good price on Baker. Tyler Shuck at 124. The team does not have Olave, though. Baker went unstacked. The team with Bucky passed. The team with Igbuka passed. And the team with Godwin did not get him to fall back. But that team does get Worthy at 126. That's a really nice price on Xavier Worthy. But Pepper Tony says, first and second rounders, I probably don't want more than like 15-20%, because then you're fading other players. That's also very valid. Hard for a second rounder to be significantly underpriced. But like after the I don't give a fuck about going up to like 40%, it's about making sure you're not building the same team over and over. Yes, the combo as you get very heavy on a certain player is important to factor in. And that's where I think I'll probably be getting the overlay this summer. I wanted to treat the big board with a little bit more intuition and just vibes because of so many variables that are still unaccounted for. But no brainer at this point. Needing receiver, Omar Cooper still on the board. No brainer. The value here is tight end, but not really the best decision to go with. Instead, I think I'll just go running back and just grab Aaron Jones. Get my 4th RB. Stay somewhat balanced. We got a 2-4-4-2. And the rest of the way, I could just isolate RB and receiver. If I stopped at Laporta Gadsden, I'd be fine. Obviously, if we get a stacking partner with Daniels later, would be interested. But for the most part, I need a lot of receivers. I only have Garrett Wilson, Ted McMillan, and Carnell Tate. QB, probably going to be done with Jaden Daniels, Justin Herbert. Running back is pretty strong at the moment with Cook, Jeremiah Love, Rico Dowdle, and Aaron Jones. And then I still have 8 rounds left. This feels like a 9 receiver team at minimum. So if I go 2-6-9-3, I think we'll be in good shape. But I might even push it to 10 receivers. Not in love with my receiver room. We'll see how it goes. But Cooper's my 4th, and I feel very reliant on him. But hopefully we do luck into that Carnell Tate stack if we don't get the Jeremiah Love stack. Because I think Carnell Tate in Washington would be more valuable than some of the other landing spots early on. I would love Tate in New Orleans. I think that'd be pretty good. I would not be too happy if he was in Cleveland, but I don't think it's the end of the world. It's just not very fun. And then if it's Kansas City, then like wheels up. Holy shit, if it's Kansas City, we're in business. But Daniels, Carnell Tate would be awesome. I think it's a little more likely, though, that we have Daniels, Jeremiah Love than Daniels, Carnell Tate. But what's up, Aaron Sandy? Or maybe apologies if I just got that wrong. A Sandy. What does the A stand for? I think it's Aaron, but I hope I'm not mistaking that with someone else. But welcome in. Happy to see it. How's your Monday going? We got Daniel Cook in here. Worthy going to be returning punts like his name was Sky Moore after Kansas City drafts a receiver in the 1st or 2nd. There will probably be some competition, but I'd be kind of shocked if he was only returning punts. He's got that gadget ability. He can give you 3 touchdowns on like 6 touches. Fair point, Peppertoni. At the end of the day, drafting on vibes and intuition, I think, is also very valid. And I also don't want to like overreact to like, if my gut says this is the right way, I'm not going to be like, oh, but I do this every time. I just can't do it anymore. Maybe I'll slow down if I feel like I'm going overboard on a certain player combo. Like right now, obviously, I have a shit ton of Derrick Henry, Rico Dowdle teams. So maybe that. If I'm going to take one, maybe don't take the other every single time. But still, the rest of your team is going to be so different. What's the deal? It's not that big of a problem. But you could also be dead wrong. You could just be so wrong and invest so much in the wrong spot that you waste all your money. But so it goes. I think we're going Juwan Jennings on this one. And then I think I'll take Chig. But I kind of want to go with Debo or Travis Hunter. So first I'll go Juwan Jennings. I have the Laporta Gadsden combination. No, I'll take Travis Hunter. I'm trying to get a little bit more Travis Hunter. Plus, this is kind of a riskier team in the first place. Some clicks I don't normally make. We're kind of just furthering that bet that I'm kind of wrong about Garrett Wilson and Tet's value. And then I'm starting to buy in more and more on Travis Hunter by the day. This price tag is just so affordable. Like, the worst case scenario with Judy versus the worst case scenario with Hunter. Yeah, it could be worse with Hunter. But the best case scenario with Judy versus the best case scenario with Hunter, Hunter has a much better ceiling. And much better ceiling than a lot of other names going above him. Like, much higher than Jaden Higgins. Not that much higher, but still significantly higher than Jaden Higgins. On par with the ceiling of Matthew Golden. And that's pretty fucking high. Maybe higher ceiling than Jalen Coker. Now, I think it's a much slimmer chance that he realizes the ceiling. But yeah, the ceiling is so enticing when you consider how late we are in the draft. Pick 157. So I'll take Jennings for more of a floor, and then Travis Hunter for more of a ceiling. But I still believe in the chance that Brian Thomas Jr., who goes pick 63 in this draft, is traded. The Brian Thomas Jr. trade would unlock so much for everyone involved. Everyone else on the Jags would breathe so much easier. They'd all be so effing valuable at their current price. They'd all be moving up. And then Brian Thomas Jr., I think, would also have a higher ceiling as well. I think BTJ would be much more valuable if he wasn't in Jacksonville next year. So I am really hoping, for the sake of fantasy and the Jags offense in general, let Brian Thomas free. Free Brian Thomas Jr. You'll get a big return. You can do a lot with it. Get back some of the draft capital you wasted on Travis Hunter. And believe in the strength of the roster. They have such good depth at receiver. They can afford it. But not New England, Vader. Not New England. Put him on the Chargers. Put him on the fucking Chargers. So much better on the Chargers. But you know, Pepperton, I'm happy with my decision to double tap wideout at that spot. At that turn, we got really good values with some big hype. But why give up on BTJ? I know. Look, they'd be kind of foolish to give up on BTJ, but it seems like Trevor Lawrence doesn't know how to use him. Mac Jones made BTJ look elite. T-Law made Brian Thomas look like he was a hesitant, scared to go over the middle player with the yips. Something with that chemistry is a little bit off. And you also invested higher draft capital in Travis Hunter, so that needs to work. That's the argument. But my boy Trey Harris still on the board, and then my other boy Tank Bigsby also on the board. Double fave on this round 15-16 turn. Fuck yeah. We get Tank Bigsby 181, Trey Harris stacked up with Justin Herbert at pick 180, and now we have a double stack in LA. We got two Chargers, Gadsden and Trey Harris. We have Laporta on this team, so tight end feels really, really competitive. And then I think I'm stopping with these two QBs. No need to push more on a team like this. The advance rate is already very high. You don't need to get more quarterbacks worrying about advance rate. I think if you spend elite draft capital at quarterback, you can argue that you should stop at 1. Looks like Huhaim's been doing that with Josh Allen quite a few times. I think that this is the contest where you should try to push it like that. You only have to finish top 4, and then it's just a 1-week showdown in weeks 15, 16, 17. It's a 1-week game. You're only going to need 1 quarterback. So if you have someone like Allen or Lamar, you can push it with just 1, and I think you can get away with it. They have to stay healthy, but if they don't, your team is probably fucked in the first place. So lean into the risk. I'm not taking a 3rd quarterback when I have Jaden Daniels, Justin Herbert. But Peter says, also, I'm comfortable going very high when they come before a cliff at the position. Have 50% B-Rob and 35% Bigs because it's just so rough after them. Love the stances on those players individually, and I'm in the same camp with Bigsby. I'm a little bit lower in my B-Rob exposure, but I've caught up quickly. I think I'm hovering at like 29, 28% B-Rob. I think I have like 33% Bigsby myself. And I've done over 130 drafts. So yeah, later on, especially with this cliff, that you can, if you can identify the cliff correctly, which I think we are in agreement at least with B-Rob and Bigsby being super valuable where they go, then yeah, that might just be the correct decision. And if it is the correct choice, then you want as much of it as possible. So yeah, got to take some bold stances. But Wix on your build here is going to fit just right. Wix went 170. He did not make it back to me at 180. So Wix has been moving up the board, especially to a team that might have Jalen Hurts. That team has Lamar. The team with Hurts is Legalize It, who I'm sure would have sniped me at 179 if Dontavian Wicks made it back. I'm sure he was interested in Dontavian, but goes Tyjae Spears. That's a fair click as well. Keith, the big shooter, says, are you calling it a night after this or drafting again? We're drafting definitely 1 more for sure. We always do 2 typically, especially on these cheap ones. I'm not going to leave you hanging without a second draft. But if we hit 30 likes, then I'll probably do a 3rd. We're sitting at 16 likes right now, 33 watchers, so we got time. I think we'll probably hit it, but if you're enjoying this draft, get us up to 20 likes, ideally before our second one starts. If we can get 4 extra likes in the next 4 picks, that'd be awesome. Would really appreciate that. And then if we get to 30, we'll do a 3rd. How about that? But yeah, we're sticking around, definitely doing 1 more, and I would appreciate it if we got to 20. Before then, but Pepper Tony says P. Wash is a 6th rounder with 1 good year. Myers is fine but unspectacular. If Myers wasn't such a good floor play, then maybe I wouldn't believe in the ceiling of Parker Washington. But I also think Myers is not someone you want to sleep on at all. Jordan James still available here, so I think I'll just take Jordan James. Could go Ray Davis for the James Cook handcuff, but nah, we'll go Jordan James. Let's bet that Cook stays healthy. And then pretty good values at tight end this late. I think I'm more interested in like true ceiling. I'll go Terrence Ferguson. Ferguson can score a 40-yard touchdown. Can also score multiple touchdowns in the same game. The first week when Adams went down, Ferguson actually got his shot to really deliver. He dropped a touchdown in the end zone, but he scored a touchdown pretty quickly after that on a following drive, and he nearly had like an explosive game. So he was a 2nd-round pick, a team that uses tight end a lot. They brought back Tyler Higbee, so I don't think they're investing any further draft capital in that position, and I think we've been fading the Rams tight ends a little bit too much, in all honesty. I think they're actually super valuable, especially considering that Blake Corum is like the last Ram that gets taken off the board before Terrence Ferguson, and the difference is pick 90 with Blake Corum and then pick 205 with Terrence Ferguson. The Rams are super valuable, just inherently super valuable. So shout out Terrence Ferguson in round 18. I think a really, really good value. More of a spike week guy, less of a floor play. If you just want the floor in LA, go Colby Parkinson. But I do believe that Huhames has a phenomenal strategy. I've seen him use it a couple times, taking both LA Rams tight ends, whether it's stacked or unstacked. I think having both is really a good bet, especially if you need a deep tight end room in the first place. Like if you're planning to go with 4 tight ends, if you've built your team to need it, then just locking up all of the touches in the Rams tight end room is phenomenal. So shout out Huhames. He, I want to say, gets credit for that idea first time I heard it, and I am repeating it, giving you full credit, my friend. That is a good take. But the bell didn't work. Right. Oh, sometimes I notice if you don't have the bell set to all, the personalized sometimes miss out. So yeah, if you do not want to miss out on our next live stream, ring the bell down below, and you can adjust it. It'll give you personalized updates the first time you click the bell. But if you adjust your settings to all, then you will know every time I go live. And sometimes I don't give you much of a breather. Sometimes I don't let the billboard, the thumbnail, sit on YouTube very long. Like today, literally set this stream up 2 minutes before it was set to debut. Did not give it any time. Just made the thumbnail, set up OBS, and hit record. Went live within 2 minutes of posting it. So thanks for hopping in. We got Fantasy Football Garage also in here. What's up, my man? How we doing? Would love to collab soon. I believe you're hopping on Bindle's channel tonight. I'm pretty sure Ballsy is tonight. And check them out in about an hour and a half. I believe that is tonight. Pretty sure it's on Bindle's channel as well. But check out both of them. We've had both of them on the channel. I have yet to finish up the collab with Bindles. Hopefully I can have a visit with him soon. But Fantasy Football Garage, I'm sure we'll have him back on the channel soon as well. But thank you, Scott Young, for pumping up the like button. Looked like we got up to 24 likes, so thank y'all very much. Crushed our like goal before this last 2 picks, and we are 100% doing a second, probably a third. So Keith, you'll definitely be able to join, and I'll probably hop in pretty soon after these 2 clicks. I am on the clock. Shit. We're going... Fuck. Give me KLS as 1. And then... shout out Huhames with the strategy. We're going to go with a 4th tight end. We're going to be elite at tight end. We have both Rams tight ends. Maybe went overboard, in all honesty, because I got Laporta, Gadsden, Terrence Ferguson, Colby Parkinson. Maybe unnecessary, but ultimately I invested 6 picks at the quarterback and tight end spot. We're going to get some flex contribution out of this group, and we have truly high upside at tight end. So elite in this regard. I think taking Daniels and Herbert is elite as well. Very strong quarterback duo. Running back room is strong with James Cook, hopefully a Jeremiah Love, Jaden Daniels stack. Rico Dowdle as the 3rd. I'm always going to love it. The more valuable Vikings running back in Aaron Jones. We also got our boy Tank Bigsby as the RB5, and then another super valuable handcuff in Jordan James. Just needs to survive the draft, and he is officially Christian McCaffrey's handcuff. At the moment, that is worth more than pick 204. Now, possibly you need Mike Washington. Maybe they're drafting a high running back, but I think they have 3 comp selections in the 4th round. I think they're going to wait, and I think someone like Mike Washington will be off the board. I think Jordan James might be competing with someone like Katron Allen or Damon Claiborne, perhaps. And in that scenario, I think Jordan James will keep his job. So I think he's a good swing late, but taking Ray Davis handcuffed to James Cook is not the worst decision either. You can do it, and it's not that bad. But today, let's just make the bet that James Cook gets fully healthy and never comes off the field when it matters most. Receiver, a little shaky, but I think it's fine. A little shaky, though. Garrett Wilson, Ted McMillan, clicks I'm rarely making. If we don't get the Jeremiah Love stack, we're hoping that Carnell Tate is drafted by the Commanders at pick 7, so worth a gamble on a potential stack. We got Omar Cooper Jr. as well, going to be drafted in round 1. Hopefully not to the New York Jets. That's what I think could really be the worst case scenario for Omar Cooper Jr. He goes pick 16 to the New York Jets with the Colts pick that they traded away for Sauce Gardner. Fuck. I really hope Omar Cooper Jr. is not a New York Jet. But Jawan Jennings, I think, still on the trade market, hoping that he's a New Orleans Saint. I think that'd be awesome if that's what we wind up with. Would be super valuable in that scenario. But got him 10 picks past ADP, so already a value. Travis Hunter at 157. It's worth the risk. A really good price if it all works out. If BTJ gets traded, this is an elite value where we're taking him. So worth mixing in at a pretty decent rate, honestly. I think I've been fading him too much up to this point. And then Trey Harris for the stack. We also got KLS for the more unique combo. And if they don't draft anyone, if they don't bring in Keenan Allen or another veteran, then not only does Trey Harris have a lot of upside, but so does KLS in this offense. So love that stack. Kind of underrated, but not going to do it like crazy. Worth the risk in a $2 contest, though. And then tight end is fucking elite. We have high upside and depth. We have Laporta, Gadsden stacked up, Terrence Ferguson, Colby Parkinson. Every major point in the Rams tight end room is ours. So a fun team, hoping that pick 7 does fall in our lap and we complete one stack with either Jeremiah Love at running back or Carnell Tate at wide receiver. That would really make this team awesome with Jaden Daniels. But it's a $2 draft. I'm only going to skim, legalize its team, not spend too much time. Has Hurts, Lawrence, Genty, Hampton, Kyron, Swift, Keaton Mitchell, and Tajay. So did handcuff Hampton with Keaton Mitchell. Wide receiver has Devontae Smith stacked up with Hurts, Jacoby Myers, Quentin Johnston, Josh Downs, Jalen McMillan, Darnell Mooney, Hollywood Brown, Jalen Knoll, Tyquan Thornton. Very risky receiver room, but not the end of the world. I think it could thread the needle. Strange, Juwan Johnson, Hunt, Helm is just fine. Running back room is super strong. I don't think you went overboard, but QJ as wide receiver 3, that feels shaky, my friend. A little risky. I get why you took Downs as wide receiver 4. Definitely more of a floor play versus Xavier Worthy. I get it now that I get the full context. King of Kings went Dak, Jordan Love, Jacoby Brissett. Can definitely get it done with that. Walker in the second, Javonte in the third, Jadarian Price, a good click, especially if he's in Seattle. Mike Washington in case he's not. I've been taking a lot of Jonathan Brooks at 154. That's a nice price as well. Good click in my opinion. And then a swing on Nick Singleton. He's injured, so very risky depth chart, but I think you're going to land at least Jadarian Price in a good location. And then if one of these 3 has the ultimate ceiling, then you have a league winner on your hands. So fun team. Good luck with Singleton, but that might give you a little too much risk for my liking. A little bit extra risky with Singleton. But CeeDee Lamb, Igbuka, Christian Watson, Brian Thomas, and Addison, phenomenal 5 receivers. Elite depth there. And then Kayshon Boutte, Flournoy, Ted Hurst. That's fun. Goddard and Njoku. Darnell Washington. Not bad at all. Some good stacking partners with Prescott as well. Very fun team. I like it. Good luck at running back. Worth the swings. But I think that's it for the team reviews. Apologies if I missed ya. Don't think anyone mentioned it in the chat. So let's hop into one more. We're hopping in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 4 spots left. It'll fill quickly. These are not taking long to fill. It's already full. Thank y'all for joining. If you want, we need to finish top 4, and y'all are fighting for 3 of those spots. I'm taking one of those 4 spots. I assure you that. We get pick 11, so not much different than pick 12, but at least a little different. And in this lobby, I see ladies first in here. I think D Nutsum was in the last one. I recognize Libra Gerard. I believe I've drafted with Gerard before. Think you might be watching. We have King of Kings at the 102. Good luck to y'all. And if you're in here, I just didn't notice you, then sorry, let me know. And we'll try not to snipe each other. But let me catch up with the chat while we're waiting. What's up, Young Moolah? How we doing? Yo, shout out Young Moolah as well. GAB for life. Subscribe to his channel as well. He's been on our channel. I've been on his channel. That was a very fun live stream. Go and catch the replay if you're interested, and give him a subscription. Very fun takes. Always sets up some unique builds with a lot of competitive outcomes over there. Shout out GAB. Very fun streamer. Recommend y'all check him out. Who Hames as well. It was set to Bell, was even looking for a stream to watch, set to all. Appreciate you, Who Hames. I'm glad we got that sorted out. But simply constantly refresh YouTube. That's got to be what Pepper Tony does, because he's in here all the time. Pepper Tony, you probably have all of them locked up. You're dropping Fimpst pretty much every single time, but sometimes refreshing is the wrong choice. Like on Instagram, the refresh is risky. You know, when you're on Instagram and you get a really good meme, you get a really good reel to watch, and like you're midway through it, and then you accidentally like think you're scrolling up just a little bit, and you refresh it unintentionally, and then it's just lost forever and you didn't get to finish it. That fucking grinds my gears. And Instagram knows exactly what they're doing with that shit by not letting you retrieve it. They want you to be on the edge of your seat. But Fantasy Football Garage says, oh hell yeah, draft season's about to heat up. Can't wait for the draft. We've got plenty more to do. Fuck yeah, man. Especially once we get these landing spots. May is going to be popping. May is going to feel so exciting. Already can feel it in my bones. But we went with James Cook on the last one. I'll go Genty instead. Mix it up. But still not a full believer in the Las Vegas offensive line. Love their play caller addition, but could see that not go super well. And then I'll just get back to my bread and butter. I'll take my boy O'Marion Hampton on this one. But Keith, are you in this one? Let me know if you're in here. Got stuck in the lobby. Bummer. Yeah, sometimes they fill too fast. But I'm sure we'll have another opportunity. I have a feeling with the 25 max as opposed to the 50 max, this tournament's going to take longer to fill than the last one did. So I think tomorrow's live stream we're going to be chilling with the $2 drafts as well. So hopefully tomorrow at the very least. But if we hit 33 likes, we'll do a third draft. We need 7 more likes on this live stream, and we'll do a third draft. We're not going to do a fourth, but if we hit 33, we'll draft a third. And I think I'll just fire that one instantly. I think as soon as we hit 33 likes, I'll just fire a third one, and we'll be drafting both at the same time. But who Hames? No, if you want to send me a chat on X, I will see it much faster than I would have when we first started talking. I didn't have X really set up at all back then. So if you want to just send me a DM on X, that works too. But also emails is also perfectly fine. If anyone wants to reach out, it's niceandblunt@gmail.com where you can find me for collab inquiries or, you know, anything else. Or this. Yes, you could also send a pigeon. Leia is going to kill it. This is going to please Leia. Leia will have a hunting opportunity. And so if you send it by carrier pigeon, you're not going to get the pigeon back. I'm going to email you back. So make sure you leave your contact info in the scroll wrapped around the pigeon's ankle. But the pigeon will not make it back. I cannot promise you that. It's pretty much a lock that the pigeon is just a gift for my cat. Nice. So if that's what you want to do, just keep buying a bunch of pigeons every time you talk to me, Leia will be happy. My my budget for cat food will go down significantly, so that could work. That would help me out, but I imagine that's gonna get expensive over time. Every message you have to buy a new pigeon. Probably not worth it for you. Might as well just send me a DM on X or something. We're gonna lean in. Nah, I don't think I'm gonna lean in at running back. I'll lean in with the Chargers. Give me Ladidi. Give me Lad McConkey. Yeah, this works too. You just have your manager get in touch with my agent, Who Hames. How about that? Jets reportedly love Omar Cooper, and that's terrible news. That's not what we want to hear. That's terrible news. That's really bad. Yeah, like someone was saying, who was saying it? Can never have too much Igbuka. Yeah, let's make Vader proud. We passed on Igbuka once. We gave Team 12 2 chances to snipe me, but we're not letting Igbuka pass further than 38. But legalize it. Love their team on the last one. Thinks he just won 10K. It was a fun one. Sure was a fun one. But you're welcome, Mulat, as always. Appreciate you so much. But Ginty FOMO kicking in, I see. In all honesty, it's not that I've ever been off of Genty. I've just been so pro Hampton. And I've also very rarely gotten pick 12. Like, I've shown you my exposures in the past to different picks. I was never getting pick 12. I was just never really getting pick 12. So that was a big reason. I was trying to get different with pick 12. And my Genty exposure was a little bit lower than it probably should have been. But not intentionally, just kind of naturally, you know, just how it fell. But I'm willing to pull him up. I'm willing to let him fall. I'm not head over heels on Genty, but I don't think you should fade him either. Speaking of fade, let's fade the music just briefly. And I think you know what time it is. If you've been waiting, we don't have Crossface in here to remind me, unfortunately. So it's time. Time to take a rip from the pipe. Definitely a good time right now. I'll see you on the other side. I held it for a sec. Were you not sure if I was going to exhale anything for a sec? I wanted to fade the music back in before I forgot. I'll go Christian Watson. A little bit risky, but the Packers offense moving off of Romeo Doubs and Dontavian Wicks, all of those pieces are inherently more valuable. So what was maybe a riskier pick is just now a more valid pick. And Christian Watson in the 5th, I'll take. High upside. We could go Swift. I wouldn't hate that. But I don't have much RJ Harvey. And he's not going to make it back. So I'll take him in round 6. And we'll just get another AFC West running back. The only one we don't have is Kenneth Walker. But 3 of them go at the 1-2 turn. You can never get all 3 in today's market. You don't have 3 picks by pick 17. So we go Las Vegas running back, Chargers running back, and Denver running back, and increase our chances that we have a matchup between that division when it all matters most in week 17, and that's a high scoring game. If we get a big shootout between Ashton Genty and Omarion Hampton, that'd be really fun. That'd be awesome. But even the Chargers Broncos games are high scoring sometimes. A little bit more field goals though in those matchups historically. Herbert is also undefeated against Bo Nix. The only time the Broncos have beaten the Chargers with Bo Nix, Trey Lance was the quarterback in Week 18. Just want to slide that little fact in there. Just a little fun fact for y'all. A completely unbiased, accurate fun fact that you can share with every Bronco fan you meet. Just a little fun fact, little nugget for them. I'm sure they're gonna love it. They're gonna love you if you bring that out at the dinner table. You'll be their best friend forever if you make a point to say that multiple times throughout the evening. They'll ask you, why are you saying this? And it's just a fun fact. It's so fun. And it's factual. It's completely accurate. Anyways, we are about to be back on the clock. We waited on quarterback in a range I usually like to take one. Round 6 usually feels wrong with a lot of those names, so I usually just settle for quarterback. But we pushed it today. Might push it again, but if I do, we're in kind of tough waters. So I think the correct decision is just to lean in to our Chargers combination. That is the correct choice. Herbert, Hampton, Ladidi. And then I think we need a receiver again. And my personal favorite in this range is a Mr. Jordan Addison. Probably going to get sniped on Kyler by the Justin Jefferson drafter. Buddy Man doesn't have a quarterback yet, goes Dobbins. But Addison, who knows? We might pair him up. Maybe they make a mistake and try to push Kyler to 111. But I'm pretty sure Kyler's going at 106 if he doesn't go sooner. But is it weird, Who Hames, that I like to take a quarterback in this range? Is it weird? Or is this just where one of the league winning options goes? Or is there just a correct decision on the board? Because I can't find anyone, a single voice, whether it's in the fantasy space, in the more mainstream space, even just regular people on the street, even just coworkers that I meet for the first time, even just like random people on the golf course. There isn't a single person that is not excited about the Chargers with Mike McDaniel this year. There's not a single person that is low on the Chargers. So either everyone's wrong, or this is just the correct investment. Or it's just the correct hat to be wearing. Or but appreciate y'all smashing the like. We did indeed hit 34 likes. Appreciate you. That's one thing you can never deny. The jerseys, the drip for the Chargers is definitely cool. They have cool uniforms at the very least. But it would look a lot cooler with a Lombardi trophy. It's the one thing they're missing. The one reason why it's tough to believe in them. But if there was ever a time to change and make history, why not do it in your home stadium? On Valentine's Day, next year, 2027, February 14th, the Super Bowl is at SoFi Stadium. Chargers, Rams, both going all in. They have to. If they're not, They're fucking stupid. So Mike McDaniel, betting on you. And come on, buddy man, don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. Watch the snipe incoming. No, it goes Kyler. And that's fine. We're going QJ. We're not risking it. Although perhaps Kyle Pitts is correct. We're going Quentin Johnston. Come on. I gave you Pitts. Don't you fucking do it. I gave you Kyle Pitts. Goes Mason. Whoa. Mason, Chris Rodriguez. Damn. Okay. I mean, it's very tempting to go Kyle Pitts, but no, this is for the memes. This is for the vibes, baby. Oronde Gadsden. I have every single Charger so far. I have Hampton at pick 14, Ladidi McConkey at pick 35, Justin Herbert pick 83, Quentin Johnston 107, Oronde Gadsden 110. Wan'Dale Robinson did go at 112. I passed on Wan'Dale. I passed on Kyle Pitts. It was tough, but we're risking it. We're going all in with my LA Chargers. This is the year. Seriously, if someone doesn't believe in that, please speak up, because I can't find a single person that is low on the Chargers this year. So even if some of the prices are high, it's just like what you have to spend to get them on the roster. And we got 20 clicks. We're only starting 8 players in week 17. Give me as many fucking LA Chargers as possible. But Who Hams is low on Keaton. Yeah, you seem to be the lowest voice in the space on Keaton. But ultimately, you're getting the Chargers handcuff running back, and just the inherent injury risk of Omarion Hampton going down, catapulting him into that role. That alone for the upside is why you need to take him. That alone, just because of where he's playing, the jersey he is wearing, and the fact that he will be getting the ball at one point in time this year. Keaton Mitchell will spike into your lineup. But I do believe that Omarion Hampton is still the guy you want. I think the building, everything is intended for Omarion Hampton to deliver on his first round draft capital. Keaton Mitchell going to be a nice compliment. Really fast, high upside player. And I think in Mike McDaniel's system, just inherently super, super valuable. Might not get enough touches to be a good redraft value, because you're not going to know when to put him in your lineup. But in best ball, you don't have to think about it. Yeah, just give me Chargers running back, please. Whatever the ADP is, put him on my team every now and then. But Malik Willis would have been an interesting QB2. I think I'll go Sam Darnold, and then running back is drying up pretty fast. So don't love Khalil Shakir at all. Not in this range a single bit. So take him. I did like McMillan, but receiver is not the position I need at this moment in time. I think just straight up Goddard or Kelsey is the most valuable option. And you know who fucking owns the Chargers? Travis Kelsey historically has some of his best career games versus the LA Chargers, especially on the road at SoFi. Like, look up Kelsey versus the Chargers. You're going to see huge highlight reels. Stat-wise, he makes a point to, like, bury their face in it. So if we do get a Chargers Chiefs matchup week 17, the player I would probably want most is Travis Kelce on the opposing roster. Maybe Kenneth Walker is going to be really valuable. Obviously, Mahomes would be pretty valuable in that instance, but I think Kelce will show up. Kelce is a good value still in round 12. There's a lot of really strong tight ends. I think literally the 4 tight ends that just got taken are more valuable than Kincaid, probably more valuable than Kittle because of his injury risk, and in my opinion, also more valuable than Jake Ferguson. I would rather swap the round 12 tight ends for the round 11 tight ends, at least in this draft, and that's how the ADP goes. So I usually avoid Ferguson, Kittle, and Kincaid because I really like tight end in round 12, 13, and 14. And I think these 4, until we know where Sadiq plays, he's too much of a variable. He should go last. But likely in the Giants offense is super valuable. Goddard is definitely top 10, especially if you believe A.J. Brown's going to get traded. That only vaults up Goddard to like Laporta level. Really loved Goddard. And then Kelce in spots is going to be very mediocre, but is still live to score the most touchdowns on the Chiefs. And this is much more likely to be his like true final season. And that means at the end of the year, I think they're going to be showcasing him a little bit more, because I don't think it's a lock that they win the division, and therefore it's not a lock that they make the playoffs again. If Mahomes misses any time, it'll be an uphill battle. So I think they're going to be fighting. I think Kelce will be very active at the end of the season. And like I said, he really shows up against the Chargers. So betting on that outcome, we have Darnold as well at a not much of a value, but I think a good price given his upside. And then Keaton Mitchell's still here. My running back room's a little thin, so we're just going to lock up all the touches in LA in that backfield. And I'll go Keaton Mitchell. Tight end room has Gadsden, Kelce. I think I can push tight end with the 3rd. I don't think I need a second quarterback. I'm going to ignore that. I think we're going to take Travis Hunter again. But I will say Deebo Samuel here makes a lot of sense, but I feel really confident in my receiver room up to this point. Like we got Ladidi, Egbuka, Watson, Addison, QJ. We're making a big bet that just the Chargers are who you need. The depth is solid. So if we get any return on Hunter at this price, it's going to be in spike situations. I am 100% talking myself into Travis Hunter, and I definitely want to give some credit to BestBall guy, who's been on Hunter for a while, loves him at this price, and then FK Coolers, who tweeted about him, and I follow FK Coolers on Twitter and has definitely a voice which I respect. I've seen him place very well in some daily contests. Has very good sharp takes, and he likes Hunter's price quite a bit. Didn't like it last year. So at 158 round 14, for upside alone, there's the risk overbaked into this Travis Hunter ADP.
Nice.
Now it might feel different post draft if Brian Thomas is still on the Jags and like they draft another fucking wideout. Like if they draft a 5th, then like the fuck are you doing? But there's a world where that receiver room gets thinner, or they like swap out Thomas for like Quentin Johnston. That'd be awesome. But Travis Hunter has a lot of upside given the price. Like I think he's a much better best ball click round 14 than Khalil Shakir was at the 11-12 turn. All day I will pass on Shakir for Travis Hunter 2 rounds later. I think Shaheed would have been a good click if I didn't go Kelce there, but the value at tight end was really valuable. So Peter says Bo has won more playoff games than Herbert. Touche. Good for Bo Nix. But yeah, all that stuff is just weird, right? Just weird. Okay. About to be back on the clock. Do I need AJ Barner here? Because the team behind me doesn't have a tight end. It stacks with Darnold, so it warrants some value. But that's not a position I really need desperately. I'm going to push it. I'm going to go Trey Harris. I'm just going to lock up every fucking Charger. I'm just going to take another Charger. AJ Barner does go. I don't mind it. Not upset at all. Going to take Christian Kirk. Round 17, I think a good value. And we have some volatility. If one of these Chargers hits our lineup this 1 week, the others probably don't. They could, but a little bit, we're just getting one Chargers receiver every week pretty much with this build. So maybe someone that's a little bit more of a floor play and like late season upside. Like I think Kirk could be the guy you need at the end of the year because Evans is a pretty solid injury risk, and so is Ricky Pearsall. So I think Christian Kirk's a great click. I think he deserves to rise another 15 picks, honestly. Tell me you're taking Christian Kirk in the 160s, and then I start to question if it's right. But 182 all day, I'll take Christian Kirk. And that finishes my receiver room. I'm done with Lad McConkey, Egbuka, Christian Watson, Addison, Quentin Johnston, Travis Hunter, Trey Harrison, Christian Kirk. I could have waited for Torrey Horton to pair with Darnold. I could have taken AJ Barner, but the team at 12 did scoop him up, and I'm not that upset about it, but I think it would have made this team a little bit better. Perhaps I should have gone AJ Barner over Trey Harris, but I wanted to just lean in with another Charger. Didn't feel like it was a lock he'd circle back, and we got him at 179. So we're chilling, we're grooving, we're in good shape. But luckily this entire contest is played in the regular season. Very much so. Yeah, I don't have to worry about Justin Herbert's playoff record in this scenario. But someone that might be an MVP candidate at the very least. Last year I think he got a top 5 vote last year. At least one, maybe more than just one. He was an underrated MVP candidate last season, and this year we think their offense will take a big leap. So I think that's a guy you can trust, and if you want to treat as like, let's put all the eggs in this basket, I can't think of a reason why to worry about the Chargers. So there we go. Mega Charger stack. And technically, I have still not taken every Charger that gets drafted. Technically, I haven't done that yet. But the Pat Dak stack is wild. Do we have a Mahomes Dak Prescott team? We do. Rashi, George Pickens, Dak and Mahomes, Worthy and Ferguson. They did not get Kelsey, but they went Ferguson. Yeah, it's a pretty fun team. Would be even funner if they went with CeeDee Lamb. Imagine if they were at pick 4 and went with CeeDee Lamb, Rashee Rice, George Pickens, and got the same stacks. But Gibbs balances that out so much better to have Gibbs than overcommit with Lamb. You can't pass on Gibbs at pick 2. Peter says he got a first place vote, and it sounds like you might be a Broncos fan, so mad respect to mention that. You're right, he did get a first place vote. I mean, at this point, for the memes, I'm gonna do it. Kimani Vidal. Every fucking Charger. I probably need 7 running backs on this team. Probably, but I really want Torrey Horton. So if I time out, I think I'm just going to take him. But I think it's more balanced and safer to go to go Katron. Because I think Katron is a rookie that will probably compete for at least a backup job. I don't think Katron is going to be dead on the depth chart once he joins some team. But perhaps Torrey Horton would have made more sense there. I don't have any stacking partner with Sam Darnold, but Darnold is really just there to get me the points I need to advance on this team. I'm just so committed to Herbert and the Chargers on this one. Like, I kind of don't give a shit. So the build, I think, is more critical. Once I took Kimani Vidal and kind of locked in that I was guaranteeing a 0, but like, what if it is more crowded and split up between these 3 players than I think? And then what if one guy goes down? Like, what if Hampton goes down week 14 and Vidal is like also just the guy you need randomly? So one of these running backs is so worthless to me every single week, if not 2. I think I need a safer floor with someone that I know will be on the field at running back. So that's why I didn't go Nick Singleton, but I think he is more talented. Singleton's actually really, really interesting in like a dynasty standpoint. He goes 1 click after I take Katron, but I think the team I needed required just a little bit more floor at running back, and betting on the rookie is inherently risky in the first place. So I'll take the one that's not injured over the one I think is more talented, but currently injured and not quite sure when he will be available. Because I think he broke his foot at the Senior Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. It was like a recent injury that was part of the combine process. He did not do anything at the combine because of this injury. But Huham says several people are out on Keaton. It's all in or all out. I'm definitely more out on Keaton than Hampton, but I'm in on both. At ADP, I'm in on both. I'm in on the Chargers backfield. I'm also pro handcuff in general. If it's a backfield you like, the backup is inherently going to be more valuable to me or you or whoever is listening. And I think liking both on a team that you think is just really strong is the take that you should be comfortable with. It's not going to burn you to like both every now and then, but sometimes I only like one. Keaton is one Hampton injury away from being the Vidal backup. How could you pass on drafting that guy? Yeah, an injury alone. Same reason why I like Tank Bigsby so much. Horton might make it back. Question is, I probably need that 3rd tight end. Horton goes to Buddy Man. Bummer. Damn it. And now I'm running out of time. I think I'll go Justice Hill. A reasonable handcuff running back. And at the moment, Keaton Mitchell, his only like major competition for touches as a backup, did just leave the team. So who are they drafting that's going to compete with Justice Hill? Maybe Justice Hill is a super sneaky, super valuable late round guy that used to go like undrafted for a while. Definitely should be drafted, but tight end bucket. Let's mix in a late guy. I don't have any Oscar Delp, so I'll take my first share of Oscar Delp. Shout out Goofy Chicken Fantasy that likes Oscar Delp. I think PPR Tyler also likes Oscar Delp, and I guess he'd be the 5th of the draftable rookie tight ends. There's Sadiq Stowers, Claire, Michael Trigg, and now Oscar Delp. But this is personally my first share ever of Oscar Delp. I have a bit more Michael Trigg, and then I feel like I'm a little bit low on some swings with Max Claire. But I'm willing to just wait for him to get drafted and know where he's going before I take him a lot. So first ever click on Delp, probably more needed for the balance sheet than Claire, but might be worthless. Might be completely worthless. So final team, a massive bet on Justin Herbert with Sam Darnold, Ashton Genty, Omarion Hampton, RJ Harvey, Keaton Mitchell, Kimani Vidal, Katron Allen, Justice Hill. So a major commitment on the year two. I mean, there's three of them technically. RJ Harvey went in the second round, but 2 first-round rookie running backs taking a big leap in year 2. Harvey, at some point, will have a J.K. Dobbins injury, so probably going to have the same upside that he did last year down the stretch. And touchdown-wise, that's pretty good. Also, Dobbins doesn't catch passes, so Harvey can still spike, but he's not the most reliable floor play at all. So we're just locked into every Chargers running back touch with Keaton Mitchell and Kimani Vidal. So at least one of those running back point totals every week is taken care of. But might get nothing out of Katron, might get something. And then Justice Hill, a valuable handcuff if Henry ever goes down. But if anything, I'm betting on Derrick Henry a lot more to be just as good and stay healthy as opposed to expecting him to go down. But receiver, not bad, but interesting. Ladidi McConkey, Emeka Egbuka, Christian Watson, Jordan Addison, Quentin Johnston, Travis Hunter, Trey Harris, and Christian Kirk. High upside, big spike week potential with everyone, and then a major bet on the Chargers. That's the theme of this team. But Oronde Gadsden, Travis Kelce, Oscar Delp, pretty solid. Have no fucking clue what'll happen with Oscar Delp, but Uhames, I don't hate this take at all. Definitely could see that as well. But the field still loves Bijan, still loves it quite a bit. But Green Beasts agree with Daniel Cook, but sometimes it's the backup running back who breaks free for a spike week. That is true. Sometimes the guy that can hit 40 is not Bucky Irving or Rashad White. Sometimes that guy's Sean Tucker or Trey Tucker. You know, like sometimes it's the guy that nobody expected. So it's worth mixing in. But Green Bean says he'd rather have Vidal if I'm making an Omarion injury bet. I think they're both legit, but I think Keaton Mitchell is going to have the runway mostly to himself. But Danimal, like the team, appreciate you, Danimal. I think you were in this one. Maybe I'm wrong. You've been in a bunch of other ones. But Cooler says just caught up and wanted to say thank you for the kind words. Appreciate you, man. Of course. Always enjoy hearing your perspective too, and think they're grounded in good logic. Nice. Thank you, my friend. Really appreciate that. Would love to have you on the channel sometime, actually, and hopefully, I'll be in touch soon. Hopefully we can find something. But thank you very much for the kind words as well. Happy to get a compliment. Hartman says, "What's up? How we doing, Hartman? Maybe we can hop in this third one together." I'm just gonna hop in right now, quickly, and then we'll take a look at a couple teams while we wait. But don't want to stay too much longer. I know there's some other streams set up pretty soon. So hopping in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 into the UDFA for $2. One spot left. Only one spot. So maybe you already clicked it. Maybe you'll pass. We pull the 10 slot. I see Legion in here. I do see Danimal in this one. Let me go back to that one. We had late round picks in every single one, but we were drafting with ladies first. She went CD London Tet, Travion Beischel Tootin, Parker Washington, T-Law Algier Kraft at 102. That's nice, with Jordan Love at 115. Pretty solid. Omar, Denzel Boston, Brenton Strange, James Conner, Tyjae Spears, Tua Fryermuth, Savion Williams, 211. Damn. with Marshawn Lloyd and Jahan Dotson. So got unique with the final pulls. Very fun team, very balanced. I love the receiver room. Really fun team. Nice one, Sandra. Good luck. We also had King of Kings. This draft just started. I'm at the pick 10, so I got a minute. Frank Evans, no problem, man. Appreciate you hopping in. You went Gibbs, Rashi Pickens, Waddle, Dave Montgomery, Marvin Harrison. You're the team with the Prescott Mahomes stacks. Very nice. And then Jacoby Myers, Xavier Worthy, Jake Ferguson, JCM Brooks, love that click. Chigo Okonkwo, valuable at 167. Brian Robinson, Cade Otton, good values there. Dontavian Wicks at 194. He can go in the 170s, I think, but it makes sense that he's still closer to 200. Ted Hurst, not bad with Jaden Blue, Brashard Smith. Not in love with the final two, but I've taken Jaden Blue myself with a Dak Prescott. I've taken it as well, and then Brashard also catches passes. But a very tough road for them to get on the field. You have 7, so it's probably not the end of the world, but they do stack up at least. That is the only justification. I get it. I've done it myself. In general, though, I'm not considering it. But for $2, why not? Jefferson's here. There's a bit of a tier break at receiver, so I'll go Jettas at pick 10. And we'll let fate decide. Oh, Lamb was still on the board. I didn't realize that. Must have been scrolling down. Didn't scroll all the way back up, I guess. But after this pick, we'll look at anybody else who might have been in the last one. But Danimal went Genty McBride. Hampton is still here, but got a lot of Hampton now. I haven't been taking much Devon Achane, so I'll mix in Achane. It's been a minute since I've taken Devon Achane, actually. So we'll make Pepper Tony proud with a Devon Achane selection. But we got Keith, the big shooter, in here. Which pick are you, Keith? Are you K Roozer? Are you in at the 11? Did you just go CeeDee Lamb, Saquon? That's the only team with a K. But Yo-Yo Al Boogie, appreciate you hopping in. T-Fall SP Dogs is here at the 4 spot. I noticed you as well. Breaking BestBall, thank you for joining us. You just took Cook London. Super Beast is Keith. Keith is Super Beast. That's a fun start. David is also in here. You go Taylor and Jeremiah Love, if I'm correct. We got Sanka in here as well. Goes Amon-Ra, Hampton. Sanka knows what they're doing. I've started a lot of teams with Amon-Ra and Hampton, so to get out of the 7 slot feels pretty nice. Danimal, we did say, is in here at pick 12, and then I think Artillery is also possibly watching, but we got JJ Swat, JJ Watt's cousin, at the 101. And if I missed you, maybe you're Radio Cambodia, or maybe you're K Roozer, maybe you're watching. But when I hopped in, it was only 1 spot left, so odds are there might be a couple randos not watching. But thank y'all for letting me know. We got a lot of friends and family in this one, and this is the final draft of the evening. So I think I'm going to change the music. Let's fade out. I'll make this pick, and then we'll take a hit from the pipe, and we will bring in some different music. But we start off balanced with Achane and Justin Jefferson. I would love a specific outcome, but it's still possible. What will Artillery do? Are they going trip RBs? Goes Brees Hall. Yo, we get double Achane on this team. There was a reason. There was a reason I was feeling Achane. Devon Achane, Travis Achane Jr. We got double Achane here, and then Paul is lurking at the 3. I saw you, Legion. You were the first one I recognized, actually. Paul's been lurking in a few for a minute now, but thank you for hopping in. Evans goes, and that Danimal goes McBride Loveland. Very interesting. Do we take Ibuka again? I don't think so. Bucky continues to fall. Nah, I'll go Devontae Smith. Haven't taken Devontae in a minute, and I think he's valid in round 4. If you're telling me AJ Brown is traded, then he's probably even more valid, more valuable, and I'll take him here at 39. Not going to make it back, and I'm also at a spot of the draft where I might miss out on the big tier break at wide receiver. There's enough receivers to fill in the 5th up until about pick 8, pick 9, but especially pick 10, you're in a risky zone where you might not get gifted someone that's clearly worth a 5th round pick. But Mike, enjoying the stream. Sorry for sniping Horton. Honestly, I think you saved me from going a little overboard. I think that team of mine needed more of a running back tight end investment, and going Horton. I think once I took Christian Kirk, I think I prevented myself from being eligible to take Torrey Horton. So I think in all, it was more valuable for my build to not force getting Horton again. So no worries, Mike. In all honesty, a good decision. In all honesty, he's a good player. David wanted Devontae on this round. Apologies, my man. You go with Ladidi McConkey. Or yeah, pretty sure David is at pick 6. That's a good price on Lad. Anything after like 41 is kind of new territory where he's not usually in. And then especially if you can get him in the 45, 46, 47 range. Obviously, if he makes it to you at the bookend, 48, 49, you have to take Lad at the 4 or 5 turn. But I've never seen him fall really into the 5th. It's just the Chargers surcharge. The price is higher because he's a Charger. But there is a little risk with Lad. I know we went overboard with the Chargers on that one. But in a $2 draft, I'm willing to commit to the bit. But yeah, Keith, this is a very valid point. When you look up and Tate is the best available, it's kind of sad. You know what sucks? I never get David Montgomery. Like literally, it doesn't matter where I am on the board. I never get David Montgomery. And this is what happened to me. Exactly what Keith is saying. We have Carnell Tate as the best available. It's not exciting. I just took him. Damn it. I'll go Brian Thomas. But I have a lot of Brian Thomas. Yeah, Christian Watson feels like a last call. And then it's a lot of these guys all feel the same. But Brian Thomas is athletically is at least much better than everyone else. So I'll take him. The man ran a 4.33 at the combine 2 years ago. And we treat him like he's chump change. Brian Thomas needs and deserves respect. We're going Jalen Hurts. We're passing on Jaden Daniels. We have Devontae Smith, so we're 100% locked in to an Eagle stack. Have we had AJ Brown? It's not as locked in. It's not as a guarantee, but we have Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts. And maybe if AJ Brown gets traded, then Jalen Hurts is a worse pick. But historically, he's usually been the quarterback 3 off the board for a lot of the time. And as much as I love Jaden Daniels, Daniels has more injury risk than Jalen Hurts. Hurts usually stays healthier. He's going to give you a lot of rushing touchdowns. Hurts, I've taken at pick 80 before, but I've never taken at pick 82. He's not going to fall that far back. Hurts feels much better in round 7, but we'll take him stacked up at pick 63. And Pepper Tony, you're probably right. Probably right. Hurts feels. I'd rather pull up Jalen Hurts than pull up Caleb Williams. I'll say that. And if you were watching this channel early February, I felt the opposite, but I'm coming around on that. I think I'd feel safer with Jalen Hurts than Caleb Williams ultimately. But Daniels I think has a higher ceiling, but we've seen a much lower floor out of Jaden Daniels. So I'm not convinced that Daniels has to be going above Jalen Hurts. And I have so much more Jaden Daniels compared to Hurts. So especially stacked up, it's 100% valid to take Hurts here. But around the bookend, we saw Tyler Warren and Harold Fannin. Sometimes Fannin really falls pretty far. But that team with Bowers is kind of doubling down to Danimal's strategy. The 2 elite tight end teams have gone with a second very strong, very valuable tight end 2. So if there's another team that does that, then it would be really putting some pressure on that position. But it's a position that always has depth later on, so it's going to make the room a little bit antsy in like rounds 10 through 14, 15. That's probably the meat and potatoes where I want to be getting tight end. But it makes the better tight ends that much more valuable when this happens. Like it's the same thing with a valuable quarterback. The team with Allen goes Caleb. The team with Lamar takes Drake May. Those are 2 top 10 quarterbacks that are not QB1s on other teams. So there's just inherently going to be a little bit more pressure on those teams missing out as we filter through the draft. Now, it's not to say that being one of the last teams to draft a quarterback is still not the right decision, but some of the depth will dry up faster, and having an advantage at that position is also a strength you don't want to undervalue. But damn, Jordan Tyson almost fell back. That would have been fucking awesome. I'm going to push QB, and I think I'm going to commit to Minnesota here and make it that much less likely that somebody else snipes Kyler. I think this would be a very fun team if I can get Kyler to come back. Now, I have Hurts already. It's not going to be the end of the world if I don't get Kyler. But if I pass on Addison, he might not make it back in just these 4 clicks, and I like him a lot. So I don't want to risk it. And then if I passed on Addison again at 87, then one of those teams in front of me would be more likely to scoop up Kyler and get the stack. So even if I don't get Kyler, I still think Addison's worth this value. But I have Jefferson. I'm committed to Minnesota. We are doubling down with the Vikings offense. And they said goodbye to Jalen Naylor. So there is some targets available in that offense. But here all day long, I am Rico Dowdle. The price on Ramondre is valuable, though. And I've got a shit ton of Rico. So today and today only, you'll see me go Ramondre at pick 87. But a pretty good fall. He usually goes in the 60s, the late 60s, early 70s. So 87, round 8 is pretty fair. I prefer Travion much, much more. I still think Rico is better. But round 8 still feels fair for Ramondre. And because of the nature of best ball as a game, you need to be clicking a wide range of players, and I don't click him enough. So we'll take Ramondre at a nice falling value. If I don't take a player enough, then when he falls at a major discount, I want to scoop him up and just get that over with. Like, it's one thing to never reach on a player. It's another thing to never take him at ADP, but to also never take him when he's fallen a full round, if not more than that, then you're kind of just a hater and you're opening up yourself up to, just being wrong about the guy that you just happen to need. So Ramondre, pick 87. I still think Rico Dowdle is a better decision, but it feels much better than taking Ramondre at pick 71, 74, even 78. In the 70s, I don't like Ramondre at all. Late 80s, 100% not going to make it back at 106. I'll take that. But Who Hames says he's just fading Eagles to an extent. I mean, ultimately, they're still going to have value. So I still want pieces, but they can still be one of the offenses that buries the field. If you don't have any of them, you're probably wrong. You should probably have some Eagles. And Hurts has too much rushing value to not bet on when the prices on quarterback are just inherently super, super high. Like, if Hurts ever makes it back to you at 82, where I took Addison, then all day that's a smash. You cannot pass on that. So, just knowing he won't make it back is the move, in my opinion. But come on, Artillery. Thank you. You go Jaden Reed. Would love Jaden Reed. This price on Josh Downs on J.K. Dobbins is really good. But I'm gonna go Kyler Murray and secure the stack. Danimal doesn't have a quarterback yet, and there is a massive cliff after Tyler Shuck, and I don't think either would come back. So just have to do it. Have to go Kyler. I'm very committed with Jefferson and Addison. So preventing an Addison-Kyler stack in front of me did pay off. We get Kyler to circle back, and I'm probably going to call it done with just two quarterbacks in this one. Hurts and Kyler, I think, can get it done, and we'll advance with that quarterback duo. Love this team so far. Running back, solid. Damn, wish I got QJ, but I'll go Jadarian Price. The odds-on favorite to be the Seahawks' first-round pick. Peter Schrager mocked it already, and there's still time for that to change, but I think he's a top of round 2 type of running back, and the Seahawks have the last pick of the first round. So maybe they trade down, maybe they give up, pick 32 for pick 33 because the Raiders want to have that 5th-year option. Maybe that's something that happens, but Jadarian Price probably going to be drafted in the same range of where Nick Chubb, Breece Hall was taken. And I'm not convinced he's as good as those guys, but he's not that much different than Nick Chubb in terms of ceiling. And especially with the Seahawks as just like the last major domino to fall. Who is their running back one? Maybe it's Emmanuel Wilson, and they really feel confident in waiting on Charbonnet. But I just don't see it. I think even when Charbonnet comes back, they want a duo. And Jadarian Price, I think, is the most likely name to be that. But David says, not going to lie, forgot I had Allen when I drafted Caleb, but not upset with it there. I got him, I guess. Caleb unstacked with Allen, maybe a little unnecessary, but fell to you at 76. Structurally, I would not have minded if you took Jordan Tyson, but I think for the value, Dave, I think you made the right decision. Unstacked Caleb with Allen. You have to stop. Don't you dare take a third. But I don't hate it, man. I don't hate it at all. Round 7 Caleb is way more palatable than round 6 Caleb. But very interesting that the team with Burden, they had Lamar and Drake May, so I get it why they passed. The team with Loveland was on this side, and then you were ahead of the team with Rome, and you get to snipe the team with Rome. Yeah, you snipe Sanka. That's fun. I'm sure Sanka was pissed, but they took Parker Washington. They opened it up. Um, Good for you, man. Good click. Good click. Snipers are out. Yeah, Sanka's bit. Hell yeah. Love the in chat sniping. But that's a very good price on Caleb. Maybe makes you regret taking Allen a little bit, but I don't think it's incorrect, my man. Don't think it's incorrect. Really good price on Caleb Williams. After Jackson Dart, that feels like a smash. But my team needs tight end. We are 100% taking Dallas Goedert on this team. I have good enough running backs. I'm not taking Rachaad White, but the value is interesting. Probably Danimal takes him, but Cruiser does not have a tight end yet, so getting ahead. And I do think Goddard is just more valuable than Jake Ferguson in the first place. So give me the stack. We got Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert stacked up with Jalen Hurts. Let's fucking go. I love Goddard as a click. Unstacked, but especially with Hurts, really phenomenal click. And especially without A.J. Brown. The bet that A.J. Brown is leaving makes the Eagles so much more valuable, especially their top two. But not going to jinx it, but you probably know a direction I might be looking to later in this draft. But at the moment, we got the two most valuable Eagles combos. And Rashad circles back. This is a pretty good value. My receiver room getting pushed a little bit, but it's kind of strong up top. I'm willing to do it. The Rashad value is pretty solid. But no, I'm going to go Aaron Jones. We have Kyler Murray. Give me the more valuable Vikings running back, in my opinion, who catches passes. Jordan Mason does not. Go check Jordan Mason game log. Let's do it together, shall we? Let's do it together. If you don't mind a running back quarterback stack, please do not do it with Jordan Mason. Career game log. Okay, we're going to go chronologically, and we're going to go receptions. Whoops, my bad. No, we're going to go... Fuck. What did I just do? Get rid of that. Okay, here is the receptions tab. This one right here. 0, his rookie season. He had a game with 1 reception. Week 4 of his sophomore year. Another game with 1 catch. Another game with 1 catch. So 3 games with 1 catch. His second year in the league. And then his third year is when he had the breakout. He had 1 reception in week 1. 1 catch, 2 catches, 2 catches, 1, 1, 2, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0. And then last year in Minnesota had 1, 2, 0. A 2-week stretch with 3 receptions. 3. But then back down to 0 and then a maximum of 1 the rest of the way. Jordan Mason does not catch passes. Aaron Jones is the running back stack that you want with Kyler Murray. And if you look back to James Conner, that's a really underrated aspect of James Conner's skill set. James Conner game log. Here's the career. Started off with 5 catches in like his first 3 games. Had a game with 7-6 that first year in Pittsburgh. A game with 8-7 the next year. Like really valuable. But let's focus on Arizona, shall we? Down the stretch in Arizona, 5 catches, 3, 5, 2, 9 catches, 2, 6, 5, 2, 3, 3, 1, 5, 3, 2, 3, 6, 3, 7, 3. Pass catching running backs in the Kyler Murray system have thrived. Like last year, James Conner had a game with 5 catches, 80 yards. 5 catches, 67 yards, and a touchdown. We want to spike in that backfield. Give me the back catching passes. And that is 100% Aaron Jones. 1,000% Aaron Jones. When Jordan Mason only has 2 career games with more than like 1 catch. Jordan Mason is overvalued. We have a big bet on Minnesota with Kyler. Let's take Aaron Jones over Rashad White. But Brooks circles back. Hell yeah, I'll take Jonathan Brooks. Danimal only has 3 running backs. And I'm going to call it a day with Jonathan Brooks here, RB6. Now, maybe I'll take a 7th in like the final round because I'm feeling frisky. But this running back room feels really, really fun, really interesting. We have double H-hand, Devon and Travis. Ramondre Stevenson at an 11-pick fall. Jadarian Price at pick 111, triple one. That's a very good omen. I'm back on the clock. Travis Hunter not available. That's a bummer. But I'm taking Dontavian Wicks. Give me the fucking Eagle at 159. Let's bet it again that A.J. Brown gets traded. Give me Dontavian Wicks. He's not making it to me at 178. I ain't fucking around. I know you're not going to leave him for me at 178. Give him to me in round 14. I'm willing to do it. But who Hames isn't like at 5-6% Eagles? I assure you, that's not the case for me. There's a few Eagles that I am full sending in my roster. Dallas Goedert is one of them. Tank Bigsby, you already know. And now that Dontavian Wicks is officially an Eagle, Dontavian Wicks all fucking day. Because I have always believed that A.J. Brown's not going to be on the team. And Hollywood Brown didn't make me more confident. But also trading for Dontavian Wicks, they might draft someone too, but I think they're setting it up to replace A.J. Brown. They also might just acquire a receiver in the trade as well. Like, if they trade with the Patriots, wouldn't, like, Kyle Williams and Kayshon Boutte probably be on the move? Maybe Mac Hollins and Kayshon Boutte, something like that. You know, like, I like this bet I'm making. The narrative that this team believes A.J. Brown is getting traded. I like this team from that narrative standpoint. We got the Devontae, Jalen Hurts combo, Dallas Goedert, and Dontavian Wicks. There we go. But you think they collapse end of season? That's why I like Tank Bigsby so much. If they do collapse, they're going to give Saquon some rest and put the handcuff in. That's why I love Tank Bigsby that much more. Music to my ears, who Hames. You need to commit to Tank Bigsby at the least if you think they collapse end of season. They still have a good offensive line. It's 2026. You need 3 QBs at all costs. Not in a contest that advances 4 teams. I don't think it's the most necessary thing in this contest, my friend. I'm not as fully on board with the 3 quarterback stances as some of y'all. In a contest like this where risk management is a lot wider. Sweet. TJ Hawkinson circles back. Let's go. I'm doubling down on some risks, and one of those is only 2 quarterback builds, and another one of those is massive team stacks. We have Jefferson, we have Addison, we have Kyler, we have Aaron Jones, we have TJ Hawkinson, we have every pass catcher in Minnesota. We're only missing out on like 6 catches next year that will go to Jordan Mason. The only thing I might be missing is a Xavier Scott. Xavier Scott on this team would be ultra slappy. Where am I going this time? I think we can pass on receiver. Barner, perhaps, but not that exciting. I think I'll go Kayshon Boutte. What if Kayshon Boutte is part of that A.J. Brown trade and he is a Philadelphia Eagle? Give me Kayshon Boutte. And if not, then he's with the Patriots and he's a good click. But we go TJ Hawkinson, complete our mega Viking stack, and then Kayshon Boutte. This team is fun. This team is very fun. You know what, Breaking Best Ball? I actually have drafted Ty Felton before. I actually have, but I think I've done it enough. The bet I'm making is that all of their route runners are just staying healthy and don't have any new competition. I don't think this is a team where I need to be mixing in Ty Felton, but I have clicked it before. I'll tell you that I have clicked it before. Not many times, but I have clicked it before. But Bindle says take Tip Riemann. Is he the backup on the Cardinals? Fuck that shit. I ain't taking Charlie Kolar either. Don't try and sink my team, Bindles. I know you're kidding, but there's no fucking chance I'm taking Charlie Kolar or Tip Riemann. But where was Riemann drafted? Was he actually one quick note, Trevor Etienne was drafted in the 4th round. Just one quick note on him. But 2nd round, Tip Riemann, 3rd rounder, the 318. So very close. He's 6'5", 271, runs a 4.64. Out of Illinois. Where am I on the draft board? I am on the clock. Fuck. Think I'm gonna go Torrey Horton. Remember, this team needed receiver, and there's a lot of good tight ends here, so I can afford to push it. I know I like Torrey Horton, so I'll take him before the snipe occurs. Hollywood, I'm good. I don't need Hollywood. I already have Dontavian Wicks. I don't need Hollywood. But Ferguson got sniped, so Fryermuth is still there. I have a lot of Gunnar Helm. I have a lot of Njoku. I have a lot of Fryermuth. They're all good, but safest at this moment, I think, is actually Pat Fryermuth, right at ADP 207. Got a little discount on Helm, but it's not the end of the world. I prefer to take him stacked up. Got my 3rd tight end. We never got a really good value at quarterback. Like, I suppose Brissett was an okay value, but only if Aaron Rodgers had circled back would I have considered it like a really good value. He was 2 clicks away. Would have loved to pair him Rodgers and Fryermuth at 202, 207. In that scenario, I would have done it, but we took Hurts at the top of the 6th, QB3 off the board, making a pretty big bet with him. And then I genuinely believe that Kyler, quarterback 16 off the board in ADP, in this lobby went closer to like 18 or 19, is 100% returning more value than that. So that's pretty good. We have both quarterbacks double stacked with wide receiver and tight end. Jefferson, Addison, and Aaron Jones are stacked up with Kyler. And then Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, and Dontavian Wicks are stacked up with Jalen Hurts. So really big bets on both of those passing game offenses and 2 rushing quarterbacks that can also really, really hit an elite ceiling. This is a fun team. I like this team a lot. We got 33 viewers, 44 likes. That's a very good omen. Love the double numbers. The vibes are very nice at the moment. And I appreciate y'all letting me get my guys. There were some sniping opportunities. One guy was recently sniped. Who was it? There was one guy I was actually kind of interested in. It was Tank Bigsby. Tank Bigsby went at 180. Oh, I took Hawkinson over Bigsby. Oh, right. I already had 6 running backs. That's fine. Danimal, you're welcome. You're welcome, Danimal. I might have messed up not taking Tank Bigsby. No, very, very legit. Very, very legit. I was not really looking at running back in that round. And then I think I also like got on the clock at the last second. A good decision by you. But this team has seven receivers. I definitely need an eighth. Nobody has much of a floor at this range, but I've been trying to take a little bit more Keenan, but I see Taekwon right behind him in ADP, and I think Taekwon is a bit more of a lock to actually get into your lineup. Keenan, I genuinely think might just retire. Keenan, I don't think has much more to play for other than a ring. The ring is the only thing Keenan is fighting for because he broke some team records with the Chargers last season, and I don't think he's a lock to come back to them. Do I need my ninth receiver, though? I kind of like my receiver room enough. I got Jefferson on this team. So I think I'm going to go with a triple H-Chan on this. Give me Trevor Etienne as my 20th round click. And if you're still watching, I appreciate you. This is a player I've actually started to take a shit ton of. And the argument against Chuba Hubbard makes Jonathan Brooks so compelling. But the argument against Jonathan Brooks makes Chuba Hubbard actually compelling. But both of them feel gross. They drafted Trevor Etienne in the 4th round last year. And if I told you they drafted another running back in the 4th this year, you would probably want to take them at a certain level. So I'm not telling you to go super overboard on Trevor Etienne, but he runs a 4.42. He's only 5'9", but we've seen some smaller players be effective. He weighs 198 pounds, and he played for Georgia. He's a Georgia running back. Historically, those guys fucking crush in the NFL. He's only 21 years old. He'll be 22 this year. Performed pretty bad in the bench press, but who gives a shit? Most guys don't even do it, so he was willing to put his embarrassment on the line. The burst score isn't the best for a 4.42 athlete. It could be much better, but I think he has some potential. He ran for 4.7 yards per carry last season. Only 20 carries, but 4.7 is not nothing. Really had no opportunity, never really forced his way onto the field. Rico Dowdle kept him off firmly, but they got rid of Rico Dowdle. And if you're telling me you feel amazing about betting on Chuba Hubbard, and you also feel amazing on betting on Jonathan Brooks, like part of you is lying. There's a part of you that is just not acknowledging the risk. So why not just hit the full fade button on both and mix in a few Trevor Etienne shares in round 20? It's dirt cheap. Nobody else has it other than me, and it's interesting. But let's take a look at his college stats real fast. As a freshman, he was okay. 118 carries, 719 yards. He played for Florida as a freshman. 6.1 yards per carry. Now, only 6 touchdowns, could be better, but as a freshman, age 18, that's not bad. That's pretty interesting when you consider the breakout age. It's kind of hard to do that. Year 2 at Florida was basically the same thing, just a few more touches, but in fewer games. So got a little bit more volume. Had 753 yards, 9 touchdowns is pretty solid. So good on the goal line. And then 21 catches. So as Hartman is saying, Trevor's was always a good pass catcher. 172 yards in the passing game. So not amazing there, but just catches alone in college. To have 20 as a running back is all you need to have some confidence. Then he transferred to Georgia. Georgia scouts talent better than almost anyone at the running back position. Georgia running backs have crushed throughout history, but they also always incorporate multiple backs. So to only have 600 yards at Georgia, I'm not going to pretend that that's scary. The efficiency went down a little bit, but Georgia usually has a split backfield. So I don't really care. Only 10 games. So overall, the usage is quite the same, just on par. Also had 9 touchdowns. So good on the goal line. And then he also had 32 catches. That's pretty legit. So a dual threat declared for the draft at age 20, did not stay for NIL money, has the brother in the NFL, has performed very well. This is like Dalvin Cook, James Cook, kind of along those lines. I'm willing to bet on the genetics. He's also a very young athlete. So I think he's actually a very valuable player to mix in, especially if you see someone drafting Jonathan Brooks and you're like, gross, fuck that shit. No way. But you can't tell me you feel really confident clicking Chuba Hubbard either. Like neither Panthers back feels good. So why not take the bet that neither will actually pay off? And if Trevor Etienne is like this year's Kyron, then you're welcome. You just won 10K in the UDFA for $2. But I already have him a bunch, so I'm probably gonna get that done. I'm gonna take that home, but I'm happy to offer that to those still watching because we're about to finish up this draft. But Huhaim says he doesn't think he's a bad pick, considering he didn't make a dent after Chuba got hurt is concerning, though. I 100% agree, but I also believe Rico was so good that it never allowed for that opportunity. But similar to like a Braylon Allen, he's so young. I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think year two could be an interesting breakout for him. But Amon Ra and Equanimous, oh wait, never mind. Yeah, sometimes the brother thing doesn't quite pan out, but Kelsey, the Kelsey brothers, works at that position. At running back, we'll see, but maybe he's worthless. Maybe he's this year's Kyron Williams. But Elijah Moore, still only 26, stack him up. I'll probably pass on him, but I'll take a John Mechie every now and then, also a random in Carolina. But Huhaim says Keenan is not re-signing when the Chargers trade for Brown. I hope they trade for Brian Thomas, but I don't want them to bring back Keenan either. So I think he could actually shatter some of the Chicago Bears bets. Imagine if he goes back to Chicago. Wouldn't that fucking suck to replace DJ Moore with Keenan Allen? Wouldn't that be hilarious for everyone? Taking Luther Burden at the top of the fourth. What if Keenan re-signs in Chicago because he wants to go for a ring with the Bears? That would be fun. I think that'd be interesting. It'd also be hilarious if AJ Brown does stay in Philly. That'd be boring though. I want AJ Brown to be unleashed and have a chip on his shoulder and be hungry on a new team. Give AJ Brown a new jersey. Give Keenan a new jersey, and that's what I'm hoping for. But thank you, Danimal, for the compliment. I think this was a fun stream. Definitely a good one, worthy of a rip from the pipe. And I'm realizing I never turned back on the music. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So let's take a rip from the pipe and then put the music back on. I'm fuck. With Candyman, he doesn't get to the chat for like 20, 30 minutes. With me, I forget that the music isn't playing. That's my problem. The music not playing is my problem. But let's take a rip from the pipe and put the music back on. We'll give you all some team reviews and then I'll say goodbye. Okay. I will recap my team last, but we'll go with Legion. We'll go with Legion's team at the 103. He has Herbert, fell to 94. Love that value for you. Awesome. With Brock Purdy at 99. Chase Brown, Jordan Mason. So the RB2 in Minnesota is your RB2. Not ideal. Mike Washington, Keaton Mitchell, James Conner, Emmett Johnson, Kamara, Jordan James. You have 8 running backs on this team, and haven't seen a room that needed 8 as desperately as this one. So everything else better be strong as fuck, and at least it is with Jamar and T. Higgins. You did not get Burrow to make it, so missed out on the stack. But Terry, Devontae Adams, Ricky Pearsall is stacked up. Shakir at 123. I don't love that. Tutu in the last round. Don't ever see that too often. So It is unique, but if the top ones weren't so good, it wouldn't be tolerable. Weird click with Tutu. And then Tyler Warren, David Njoku, Jake Tonjes. Yeah, for running back to be this desperate, I love the Herbert click, but it's very unstacked. Other than Keaton Mitchell, don't love the team, Legion. A little shaky. The names at running back don't inspire me very much. You got the Chase Brown, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins with no Burrow. I'm sure you're disappointed as well. Burrow went one fucking spot. Yo, SP Dogs, fucking ruthless, ruining your day. Sorry, Legion. At least it was only $2, but that's the click you needed. Don't think you got it. Bummer. But you only have to finish top 4. You're still in business. You can never count out a single team in this contest when you have to finish top 4. But SP Dogs with the Burrow snipe goes Goff, Stafford, strong with 3 quarterbacks, has Henry, David Montgomery, Pollard, JCM, whatever, Tyrone Tracy, Tyjae Spears. So a major bet that Jeremiah Love is not going to Tennessee, or even if he does, like, what sucks is Jeremiah Love is definitely cratering one of these running back rooms. Like if he's not going to Tennessee, he's probably going to the Giants, and then if he avoids both of them, then he's 100% going to the Commanders. Worst case scenario. So like ultimately some of these clicks are getting fucking nuked. And that alone I don't love. But then the other ones are going to survive and gain value. So ultimately it works. And Henry Montgomery feels strong up top. So running back is good. Wide receiver has Puka, Chris Olave, Jamo, Michael Wilson, Jaden Higgins, Naylor, Noel, Yoshivas. You don't have Stroud. So multiple Texans without Stroud. Not my favorite. But Mason Taylor, Eli Stowers, Colby Parkinson. You at least have Yoshi stacked up. But didn't go with Gesicki. I hate the tight end room. Like Parkinson is fine, but I hate Taylor and Stowers. Tight end is gross as fuck. Running back is weird. Quarterback is great, but not stacked up that much. Puka and Jamo, I guess, is good. Colby Parkinson is stacked up. Okay, at least Parkinson makes a lot of sense. This team is fair. I don't love it, but I also don't hate it at all. And then the running back room is just a little weird. Somebody's getting nuked though with Jeremiah Love. But in the best case scenario, he goes to Tennessee and JCM and Tyrone Tracy are like good values, and then Pollard gets like traded somewhere. And like he's the Seahawks starter and you have like an amazing running back room. So worth the dice roll, but could also look like shit. But Henry Montgomery is good. Love the snipe though. A hilarious snipe with Burrow. Very unnecessary, but hilarious. And that's funny at the end of the day. We got David in here. He sniped Caleb from a heavy Chicago Bears team when he already had Allen. So that's also hilarious. Glad he stopped. Very glad he stopped. He has Taylor, Jeremiah Love, Kenneth Gainwell, Jonah Coleman. Coleman's whatevs, but Woody Marks, Sean Tucker, Trey Benson. So love the first 3. The last 4 in this room of 7, I don't love though. I'm never clicking Coleman. I'm never clicking Woody Marks. I'm never clicking Sean Tucker. And I absolutely am never taking Benson. So you have volume that's valuable, but from a name player take standpoint, I am very anti Coleman, Woody, Sean Tucker, and Benson. But love Taylor, Love, and Gainwell to carry you. You're in business. So can't hate it too much. Ladidi, Waddle, Alec Pierce. A little risky, but perfectly fine. Romeo Dobbs, Omar Cooper, Denzel Boston is pretty solid. Malik Washington, Pat Bryant, and Zachariah Branch as the 9th. Interesting room. And I think some solid values late. Good cumulative point structure at wide receiver. I think the wide receiver room in totality is complete. Tight end with Kyle Pitts at 102 and Schultz at 174. You also don't have Stroud, but pretty fair. Running back feels gross, though. Running back could be a bummer. The Caleb click, we were wondering if it was right. I think so. I don't think at that price you could really pass on him with conviction. Maybe. Honestly, I don't think I would have done anything differently other than take Rachaad White over Jonah Coleman. I think that's the only. I think I also prefer Emmanuel Wilson over Woody Marks in a vacuum. My ranks with the fall on Rachaad White at 139. I think you should have taken Rachaad over Jonah Coleman. That's what I think I would have done. Um, but a couple people did not fall that you wanted. Clearly, Rachaad White was not one of them. Clearly, you did not give a fuck about Rachaad White because that's a good price on Rachaad at 139. All right, we'll move on. Sanka's team was right behind you. He has Baker, Daniel Jones, Geno Smith. Baker's good, but in totality uninspiring. Omarion Hampton, Josh Jacobs, Chuba Hubbard. Rico Dowdle as the fourth is phenomenal. And then Zach Charbonnet for a little flair in December. Not bad at all. Wide receiver has Amon-Ra, Egbuka stacked up. Rome, Parker Washington, Xavier Worthy, McMillan, Devon Vele, Chris Bell, Tez Johnson, Strange, AJ Barner, and Cade Otton. And then, if I recall, you were technically sniped on Caleb with the Rome pairing. But you passed on Caleb for Parker Washington. You also got sniped on T-Law. Damn. Fuck. You did get Chuba and Rico Dowdle out of it, so not the end of the world, but just tough to be at pick 7. Get sniped on both opportunities. At least you get Baker, so it all works out. That's interesting. That's fun, but I don't want to spend too much more time. I know there's some other live streams going on, but Strange, AJ Barner, and Cade Otton. Good luck. Running back should be okay, but I made a major bet against Chuba Hubbard. My team is going the opposite route, but we also have Super Beast and Danimal, and then we'll look at my team. I'll try to go as fast as I can. Lawrence, Malik Willis, Aaron Rodgers, that's fine. Cook, Javonte, Jalen Warren, Tyler Algier, Brian Robinson, and Ollie Gordon, pretty solid, pretty good. A little bit of a reach, though, on Javonte. Don't hate it. Over Kyron, though? Over Brees, over ETN. Yeah, Javonte at 32, I want to say thank you for leaving me Travis Etienne. I prefer Etienne well above Javonte, but he was great last year. He should be a very safe click at the end of the day. Receiver has London, Flowers, Watson, Harrison, Downs, Judy, Tucker, and Franklin. Don't love the last 3, but the first 5 pair well together. Good upside, good floor, good target shares. I like the room. Tight end has a likely Hunter Henry and Theo Johnson. So both Giants without Jackson Dart, but I guess that's fine. With Hunter Henry, that's pretty legit. But I'm sure you would have loved Brenton Strange. You got sniped on Brenton Strange. I'm sure you would have loved that with T-Law. But Danimal also in here has 4 quarterbacks with Shuck, Cam Ward, Brissett, and Kirk Cousins. Makes sense. Genty, Scadaboo, Swift, Bigsby, and Najee Harris. You're welcome on the Bigsby value. But if Scadaboo pays off, I think you're in excellent shape. Najee, though, I really worry about. Najee, I think, could be worthless, but probably is not. So risky enough, but good enough to get by. Let's take a look everywhere else. You have Evans, Pittman, Wandale, Quentin Johnston, Rashid Shaheed, Debo, Christian Kirk, Hollywood Brown, Cooper Kupp. Pretty solid. You did pull up Pittman and Wandale to get unique, so pretty interesting. You pulled up everyone, really. Like, you took a lot of names going on the other side of the board early on. You have Evans early, McBride early. Loveland paired up with McBride is also pretty uncommon. Very interesting. There was no way you were getting Caleb to circle back. So you took Swift and Scadaboo. Danimal, was there ever a moment when you wanted to go Swift and Caleb there? Like in hindsight, how would you have felt if you, instead of taking Scadaboo, took Caleb? Because I know it feels fucking wrong, but to have Caleb with Loveland and Swift, considering how this draft went for you the rest of the way, I don't think I would have been bold enough to do it. But I'm like, that's what it makes me think of. How would you have liked this team differently? But also I understand if you never even thought about it, because the reach on Caleb would have been odd to do. Uniqueness is what I'm going for. Swift scat combo. Unique question mark. Fairly unique. You already have Genty and McBride. That's super unique. Genty with McBride and Evans. I don't think anyone has the 4 picks you already have. So if everything just needs to be unique, then yeah, stick with that. But I do think it would be an overpriced Caleb stack personally. But at pick 12, you have to reach on everyone. So just curious your thoughts, but I don't think it was necessary at all. Quarterback did go a little pricey though in round 9. Like even Jordan Love, normally available in the 110s, he went 101. Baker wasn't there for you. He's usually on the board. And then I did take Kyler as well. So yeah, a little bit unlucky with values with quarterbacks. Sometimes it's just how it goes. All right, I think we caught up. I think it's time for me to go. I will leave you with a final reminder on my final roster. I was at pick 10. We had picks 12, 11, and 10 in this live stream. I have Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray, Devon Achane, Travis Achane Jr., Ramondre Stevenson, Jadarian Price, Aaron Jones, Jonathan Brooks, and Trevor Etienne. I have both backup Panthers. 7 running backs, 2 quarterbacks. I have 8 wide receivers with Justin Jefferson, Devontae Smith, Brian Thomas, Jordan Addison, Dontavian Wicks, Kayshon Boutte, Torrey Horton, and Tyquan Thornton. So double Vikings wide receiver stack, double Eagles stack as well. And then that also applies at tight end with Goddard, TJ Hawkinson. I also took Pat Freiermuth at 207, one of the more valuable late round tight ends, if you ask me. So I think this team is really fun. Maybe you thought I needed a third quarterback, but never got a really good value I think was worth taking. Similar to Danimal, they always got sniped. And perhaps I should not have passed on Darnold or Brissett, but ultimately I was pushing for Rodgers and he didn't make it back. He was 2 clicks away. I would have been happy to take Rodgers at 202. He goes 200. It is what it is. I'll lean into the risk with my Hurts and Kyler combination. But that will be it for me. I hope you had a fun time. I still forgot the fucking background music. And I'll give you one final rip from the pipe and I'll say goodbye. I cleared the pipe. Thank everyone for joining me. Did I miss any comments? Yeah, I think I didn't need the third. I think I didn't need it. But thank you, Money Mendoza. Appreciate it. And you're welcome, Breaking Best Ball. Thank you for hopping in. Same to you, Keith. You're welcome. Danimal wanted Purdy. I think you would have had to reach on Purdy to get him. I never see Purdy make it to that side of the board. There's a reason why Evans goes on that side exclusively. Same with Purdy. The Evans-Purdy combo is always on that side of the board. The problem with pulling up Evans is that you have to also pull up Purdy. Taking Evans at ADP, Purdy just falls into your lap. But it's worth trying. I don't think it's wrong to take Evans up there. He could return that value for sure. Last year, that's where we took him, and he looked legit when he was healthy at that price. But Keith wanted to lock up the Steelers backfield at 89, but locked up T-Law's falling value. Also gave up Jordan Love and grabbed Algier. Falling value and left a big QB depth deprived. Clicked Algier at 102. 102 Algier is a pretty good fall. I get it. Pretty legit. Thank you, Snoopaloop. Really appreciate it. And I think that's it for today. But check out Ballsy. I believe they're live right now on Bindle's channel. Check out Young Moolah GAB for Life, who is in this live stream with us. And also check out Who Hames. Check out Fantasy Football Garage. He's on Ballsy. Candyman and Bindles are on Ballsy right now. And PPR Tyler as well. Hartman as well. Is there anybody else I'm missing in the live chat? Jerry Football, as always. And anybody else in the fantasy space in general. Everyone puts out such good content. Shout out everyone. If I missed you, apologies. But looks like I'm going to be like 50. I did not like it. And we got 49 likes. Thank you so much. Have a great Monday. I'll see you tomorrow with another live stream. Bye-bye. Peace out. Good night.